KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, the latest on the governor's financial bailout bill as the clock runs out to find a solution. Plus, the 7 detainees accused in a deadly prison beating appear in court. And a former cop convicted of negligent homicide is trying to get the wrongful death lawsuit against him dismissed.
Hafide and good evening.
The governor's bailout measure meant to avert a financial crisis has been voted down by the legislature by a vote of 10-4. Only Senators Tommy Morrison, Luis Muñoz, Fernando Estevez, and Will Castro voted in favor of it. But late Wednesday, right before adjourning, Speaker B.J. Cruz announced that the governor was calling senators into another session to address another bailout measure.
This time, they will be debating a bill to establish a new sales tax. In the meantime, the governor has authorized a pair of austerity measures that includes cutting back public employee work hours. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Earlier Wednesday, senators continued their almost week-long deliberations on the budget bailout measure. The special session began with Speaker B.J. Cruz again offering a compromise.
If you want to fund government's most basic operations and avoid furloughs, publicly accept the help you have been asking for, a 1% increase to the business privilege tax. Take this help until July 31st, and in the meantime, I will work with you and replace these revenues with new sources and fund GMH.
The governor has been seeking a 50% increase in the business privilege tax to cover a projected $67 million revenue shortfall as a result of the Trump tax reforms. Ahead of any legislative action, the governor made the 32-hour work week for classified employees official through an executive order. Calvo spokesperson Oya Ngiray Rekla denies that the cutback, followed by announcement that 3 fire stations were shutting down, was not a scare tactic designed to pressure lawmakers.
We already had real data, coming into revenue and taxation by virtue of, the reduction in tax collections.
So you're saying these are real threats and not just a way to pressure the legislature?
You're absolutely correct. This is the reality that we're facing. It's a cash flow crisis, essentially.
She says it would be up to agency heads to decide how to allocate the reduced hours for each of their employees. Some will come in later, others will leave earlier, but operational hours are expected to stay the same.
The governor is leaving it to the director's discretion or the agency administrator's discretion, just to ensure that, we minimize the negative impact to government services. And
will workers lose pay for any hours not worked because of the reduced work week, similar to what the federal government does for its employees in a forced shutdown?
That hasn't been discussed just yet, but that'll be something I guess we'll address when we get there.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Late Wednesday, the governor announced he was calling the senators back into special session later that night to address yet another bill. This one by Senator Fernando Estevez, which adds a 2% sales tax instead of the business privilege tax. In a statement, the governor says he is deeply disappointed by the legislature's failure to address the government stabilization effort and funding for the hospital. He says thousands of government employees are now forced into a 20% loss in pay. He also warned that more government services may be forced to shut down. $1.4 million, that's how much the Attorney General's office has been asked to cut from their annual budget. AG Elizabeth Barrett Anderson says though they've implemented a hiring freeze, an exception is being made for the prosecution division.
We've actually frozen positions that we have not filled to this date. We do have turnover in our personnel and staff, and when that turnover occurs, that position will be frozen and until such time that I review how we are making it through this year. I can't cut back on hiring prosecutors. I have just got to bring the level of prosecutors that we require to win our cases. So it's a juggle.
Though they're cutting on travel for trainings, an exception is also being made.
We're prioritizing travel now for victims of crime, for cases that are set for trial for this year. So we cannot reduce travel for witnesses to come out here. But all other types of travel for training, we're cutting back on that.
They could all go to trial together. The 7 detainees accused in last December's murder at the prison's Hagatnya facility appeared in court today to answer to the charges.
Yeah, their appearance just one day after DEPCOR leaders confirmed disciplinary action was taken against the officers working that unit that day. Here's more from inside the courtroom.
The DOC-7, these detainees already being held on other crimes, are back in court to answer to the latest criminal charges against them.
Not guilty.
One by one, they along with their attorneys went before the judge. Detainees Albert Santos II and Andrew Rios Jr. were up first, pleading not guilty. Santos is indicted on charges of murder, manslaughter, and aggravated assault. Rios is indicted for first-degree criminal sexual conduct, accused of covering his hand with a plastic bag and using his fingers to penetrate the victim, detaining Edric Manson Isar from behind. Both appeared in court. However, Santos' attorney Donald Calvo and Rios' attorney Jeff Moots objected to media coverage in court, the judge granting their request. Others facing charges of murder, detainee Isler Miller. His attorney told the court on Wednesday they have to withdraw as counsel due to a conflict. Marvin Retcham, meantime, also intends to plead not guilty, but his arraignment was continued until he can first speak with his attorney about waiving or asserting his speedy trial rights. Ayla Simron and Benster Benjamin have pleaded not guilty to the murder charge. The last, Jimmy Hadley, who initially entered a not guilty plea.
Sir, I asserted right.
His arraignment, too, was continued until he can speak with his attorney about his speedy trial rights. The 7 are accused of brutally beating Isar at the Hagatnya detention facility. Isar was found dead inside his cell last December. The murder, a revenge attack, as police records show. Isar was in custody for allegedly raping a woman with a disability. All 7 will be back in court on March 7th.
A former Guam police officer convicted of negligent homicide is making a further push to have a wrongful death lawsuit against him thrown out. Mark Torrey Jr. remains under house arrest pending the appeal against his conviction for the 2015 shooting death of fellow officer Albert Piolo. The amended wrongful death complaint states the victim's wife Mika wants the case to go to trial so the court can decide the economic and non-economic damages for her husband's death. Damages they requested at more than $1 million. The defense, however, filed a motion to dismiss the complaint, arguing Mika made her claim too late. The motion stating her wrongful death claims are barred by the statute of limitations, which defense contends came more than 2 years after Piolo's death. Chung Kuo Insurance Company Ltd., who is also named in the complaint, filed a motion to dismiss as well. They argue punitive damages are not covered by insurance. However, Mika's attorney Daniel Berman argued in a previous opposition that she served notice of claims on Torrey well before the 2 years lapsed. He also contends then that she filed her civil case earlier. Had she filed her civil case earlier, rather, the court would have likely ordered it stayed pending the determination of restitution in the criminal case. Berman requested in court today for an extension to file his opposition to these latest motions. They will be back in court on April 4th.
He allegedly threatened a woman known to him with a gun. 34-year-old Royce Advincula was arrested after the woman reported him to police. The alleged incident occurred on Sunday morning. Advincula reportedly showing the woman a black revolver and spinning the chamber while making a threat to her. The woman told police she cried and feared for her safety. When police interviewed the defendant, he denied the allegations but admitted to removing the gun from its safe and placing it on the bed. Advincula was arrested and charged with terrorizing, family violence, and a special allegation for possession and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. Police confiscated the weapon, which court documents note had 5 bullets in the chamber.
Well, he allegedly knocked an officer off his feet and elbowed another officer in the face. Hudson Peter was arrested and charged with assault on a peace officer, resisting arrest, and criminal trespassing. The alleged incident occurred at Hamlani Harmon Apartments, where Peter reportedly was seen striking a car with a machete. Though police attempted to calm him down, he allegedly made attempts to break free. Court documents note Peter was previously banned from the apartment complex.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming, KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club. Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Leave no room for doubts this Valentine's Day by heading to IT&E. For February only, get your boo the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 for just $59. And for the Apple lovers, get the 10 for just $199 on the 40 gig 4G LTE data plan. Or 2 S8s for just $199 on a share plan. This sweetheart deal is available for a limited time only.
Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. And during Ram Truck Month, save up to $97.50 on new Ram trucks. Cars Plus has a great selection of 2018 Ram trucks. Plus, shop our remaining 2017 Ram 1500s. Voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. The Ram truck comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with 1.99 APR financing for qualified buyers, there's no better time to buy than now. It's Ram Truck Month, and only Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. Cars Plus, driven by you.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
I'm Johnny Good, new face of Heineken Light. It has everything you want in a light beer, and it tastes great. Finally, a light beer that has it all.
Thanks for that. We'll give you a call.
I'm just gonna try something real fast.
What are you doing?
It's cold. I'm hot. It's like science.
The light beer that has it all.
Do you know your way out?
This way.
Low calories, low alcohol, and a great taste. Deserves a spokesperson that has it all.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
They didn't comply with the laws and regulations. A recent audit report out of the Guam OPA states the Guam Regional Transit Authority failed to do just that when looking into the procurement for the outsourced management and operations of public transit services. The report states GRTA did not diligently review invoices for daily manifest and depended on contractor-provided invoices. That resulted in a lack of information to justify billed hours for fixed route services. 374 hours were overbilled for paratransit services, more than $350,000 in unauthorized charges for contractor-provided equipment, and nearly $300,000 in charges that exceeded amounts authorized in purchase orders. Auditors recommended GRTA management work with the Attorney General's office to make sure this doesn't happen again. However, GRTA disagreed with their findings. Meantime, the Transit Authority is set to go before its Legislative Oversight Chair on March 6th.
Where will the Guahan Academy Charter School Middle be located next school year? This was the topic of discussion at Tuesday night's GACS board meeting. The question comes after eviction due to 2 months of non-payment on rent was postponed until the summer. Marilyn Manabusan confirms they're finalizing the invitation for bid and looking for a campus with at least 15,000 square feet.
Or July 23rd, which is a Monday. July 23rd. There have been a lot of concern as to what are we going to do now with our students, and so this IFB, as we informed the council at yesterday's meeting, was to indicate that we are now going out to look for space.
The IFB will go out to find a new campus in time for school in August. Meantime, GACS's charter is still up for renewal.
Man-o-wars have washed up again. It looks like jellyfish season isn't over yet. Sightings over the weekend stretched from Retidian to Inapsan and First Beach in Ipan, Talofofo. Brent Tibbetts, a fisheries biologist at the Department of Agriculture, tells us they're at the mercy of the winds, and high surf conditions drive them to the north and east side of Guam. If you spot a jelly, take precaution.
Remember that they can still sting you even if they're laying on the beach and they're dead, so don't pick them up, don't step on them in bare feet. anything like that. Be careful with them. It seems like if they land on the beach, they decompose in a few days, and then you should be okay after that. But for the first few days, especially if you see the blue bubbles, don't step on them or pick them up.
He says hopefully we're getting to the end of the man-o-war season, but boxed jellies could be back in the middle of March.
Well, it's the largest group of half-a-day pledges to date, with 800 students from 10 different elementary schools attending the Youth Expo at the Dusutani. This year's event, coordinated by Tourism Education Council, focuses on the theme of the power of I, inspire, initiate, innovate Island ideas. Roy Abraham, General Manager of the Pacific Star, says the two-day program is aimed at inspiring children to embody the half-a-day spirit.
And it's a big deal, and everyone can contribute. And you contribute to that. Are you going to take some?
TEC does a lot of work with the kids. We did the rhino beetle, getting rid of the rhino beetles on Guam. So we have like the kids mobilize and they go out and do these things. Tourism is the blood of Guam. So the kids are the ones coming up. So they need to, and we need to get this island in the forefront.
The event will continue tomorrow as high school students get a chance to learn more about tourism.
Hidden in the hustle and bustle of Tamuning, you'll find one store with the best ACs that can save you energy and a few bucks.
Here's this week's Think Green with Carmen Salai.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Strolling along Marine Drive in Tamuning, you'll spot Sundance Collection. Andrea Victus is a sales rep who shows us their collection of air conditioners that with GPA's rebate program has saved customers up to $600.
We have the rebate program, the form. So as soon as we're done installing or your installer finishes the install, you have to fill out the rebate form and then go ahead and turn that in with the main building of GPA. And then from there they'll process your rebate, and then from what I've heard that they give the check the amount.
They sell media brand air conditioners and help you find the one that'll save the most energy.
These units are anti-corrosive, so it's specially made for Guam, Saipan and all the other Micronesian islands. Yeah, this is the best. The SEER rating is what really matters. Also the BTU, the size, because if you get a small size of the air conditioning for a big room, you're defeating the purpose of saving energy, because you're just going to make the unit run harder.
Their newest model not only comes with the $600 rebate, but a guaranteed 5-year warranty, and also an intelligent eye that adjusts the unit when you leave, saving you lots of power in the long term.
Once you leave the room, it'll notice that you're out, so it just decreases the frequency so that it can save more energy.
For this week's Think Green, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Think Green, presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Well, sports is next, but first, your island weather.
We know how life can be when you're young, wild and free. That's why GTA hooks it up with the best phones at the best prices to keep you living life to the fullest. Get the Motorola Moto G4 for free, an Alcatel A3 XL for only $49, or the Samsung Galaxy A8 for only $99, with a $50 per month unlimited talk and text plan, including 5 gigs of high-speed data. Visit gta.net or a store for details.
I solemnly swear
to love you,
hold you,
and keep you as my little secret,
and hold you.
I think about you all the time.
Hold you.
Because you have that special something.
Rediscover your love for the Big Mac and its special sauce. And for a limited time, try the Mac Jr. and Grand Big Mac.
is nacho cheese sauce.
Critics and fans agree. Nacho fries are a masterpiece. It'll change the way you look at fries, craves The Hollywood Reporter. Nacho fries, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We start the show off tonight with tennis as the Harvest Christian Academy Eagles girls team won their school's first ever title over the Ukadu Bulldogs yesterday afternoon. Check it out. Congratulations to the Harvest Christian Academy Eagles girls tennis team for winning this year's regular season title. The Eagles went undefeated this season, finishing with a perfect 9-0 record. Harvest sealed the deal yesterday afternoon after beating the Ukadu Bulldogs 32-8. Sarah Chong and Kina Yu both won their singles matches. Gabby Paulin and teammate Paige Matanonia won their doubles matches for the Eagles. Harshitha Gogineni and Laurel Hughes also picked up the win in their doubles match for the Harvest girls team. On the boys' side, the Eagles finished the season at 8 wins, no losses with 1 tie, beating the Ukadu Bulldogs 32-1. Mason Caldwell and Gavin Lee took both boys' singles matches. Harvest also swept the doubles event with teammates Kevin Zhu and James Hurricane. Si Chan Yoon and Justin Kim was also victorious yesterday afternoon. The St. John's Knights at home taking on the JFK Islanders in IIAAG boys high school hoops. Jonah Hahn with the mid-range jumper from the corner for the Islanders. Alshay Great pushing the ball up court for JFK. Passes to the wide-open Cloyd Rosas, who poses for the camera after feeling the ball leave his hand, cashing in for 3. Knights work the ball over to Tony Say, who goes up with a shot from a couple of feet behind the three-point line. All net on the deep ball. St. John's answering back. Knights looking to try and add another 3 points to their lead. Shots off. Alshay Grape almost comes up with the rebound. Loses the handle on the ball. Takumi Simon with the heads-up play. Works his way baseline and gets the feed right at the basket for the easy 2 points, getting the finish off the backboard. St. John's with the win at home, 65-46. Takumi Simon with the assist from William Shaw. Simon drains the long ball from up top with a hand in his face. It's okay, count it for Trey. 5 of Guam's coaches, including 3 Guam national team players, recently received their internationally recognized AFCC coaching license certificates in a presentation ceremony held at Fiesta Guam Resort. Receiving certificates from the course held at GFA in December 2017 are Jason Cunliffe, George Halou, Ian Mariano, Kaharo Manato, and Philip Santamaro. Cunliffe, Mariano, and Manato have all represented Guam as part of Guam's senior national teams. The course was held from November 26th to December 11th at GFA with visiting AFC instructor S. Richard Sinapan from Malaysia. The AFCC license is the prerequisite for all specialized coaching licenses, as well as the minimum coach education requirement for U16 and U19 national team assistant coaches. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Hafaday. This is Ton. He lives in the island of Tinian. Together with their mentor Bruce and the rest of his peers, Ton keeps the Tinian Teen Center running. The Teen Center does a lot for the youth of this tight-knit community, offering fun activities like paddleboarding sessions, ping pong tournaments, open mic nights, awesome foods, all in an effort to keep the teens of Tinian smart, safe, and drug-free. Gosh, just look at that view. Wherever they are, Ton and the rest of the Teen Center can share their message with their island and all of the Marianas. Always fast, always clear. When they go live here, it's fast and clear. When they update their status here, it's fast and clear. When they add to their story here, it's fast and clear. everywhere fast, everywhere clear with the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Guam is more than a tiny island in the Pacific. This magical place is where I call home. This island inspires me to learn and explore what's around me. It teaches me that there are no shortcuts in life and that the long way home may just be the scenic route. And that even the dirt roads can lead you to beautiful destinations.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Rochelle Sablon Diego and Marshall R. Sablon, coming from the whole family. Jax Camacho, happy 30th birthday, love your KFC family. Kai Aripeos, happy 18th birthday from mom, dad, and brothers Shane and Kane. We love you. Kimberly Morton, happy 10th birthday going out to you. And happy 6th birthday to Madison Nora Canino. Leap year, baby. We love her so much. Riley Marie Hernandez, happy 1st birthday. We love you. Tina Calvo, happy birthday, Tina. Love your family. Carolyn Francisco, happy 30th going out to you. Happy 15th birthday to Francesca Leanne Guerrero. We love you from the entire family. Also, happy birthday to Joe Pereira. Veronica Martinez, happy birthday to you as well. And also, a happy birthday to Ben Martinez Metcalf.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday.
And that's our time. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
Afternoon, everybody. I'm Jason Salas, and welcome to the show. I know you've been waiting all week for Culture Club, and this week is particularly special because we introduce you to Terry Francisco, who, by the way, has a birthday today. So happy birthday, Terry, and here she is.
In the beginning of March, Terry Francisco chants beside a small group of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center consumers to open Chamorro Month. As a psychiatric social worker in the Adult Counseling Unit, Terry pioneered the groundbreaking Chamorro Chant Therapy program, providing culturally appropriate care for consumers. It's a milestone in her evolution as a Chamorro woman, with roots from the Eve and Alayan Oral History Project.
I've been a part of the organization for about 10 years now, and what drew me to chanting was reconnecting with traditional practices to help restore my own identity as a Chamorro person.
Terry has applied that decades worth of Finohaza research in chant to a curriculum at the department. It incorporates chant, the Chamorro language, music, and storytelling into group therapy.
The curriculum itself I've been running for several years now, about 3 years, and it's been pretty successful, right? The consumers really enjoy having this cultural outlet of expression and being able to tell stories and tell poetry and sing in the language, right? And what I didn't anticipate was that it would expand into a really multicultural setting, right? And so the consumers of all ethnicities are able to come and share in their language, right? So their traditional lullabies, songs that they miss, they miss hearing their caregivers sing to them. And really this has just been an open space of love and acceptance, and that in itself has been very healing.
These are practices she's seen before. First, while working on her master's degree in Hawaii, where it's the norm to integrate Native and Western systems, including the Hawaiian practice of conflict resolution. Then in 2015, Guam Behavioral Health sent her to New Zealand for an Indigenous-based social work conference.
And there, it really pivoted me forward in my empowerment and in my work to integrate cultural practices into Western therapy. Culture is important in therapy, in social work, in social care and social welfare, because culture is how we understand who we are, right? And if a client, if a client is going to invest in their treatment and in their well-being, it has to be in language that they understand, right? It has to be based in the values and beliefs that they respect, right? In order for them to respect their treatment, right, and invest in their treatment in a certain way, right? We're not going to want to do something that we don't believe in, right, or that we don't connect to.
In 2016, Terry was only 2 years into her work at KUAM Behavioral Health when she was recognized as the Employee of the Year. Her chant therapy program also helped her nab the Government of Guam's Merit Cup of Excellence Award, and she also was the National Association of Social Workers Social Worker of the Year. And all that is just a start. Terry took up the University of Guam's Amit Chamorro class with Zita Pengalainen and worked with traditional healers. And it's all connected to improving Guam's system of care.
It's important, again, because, Chamorros, right? So when they experience mental illness, right, if they don't believe in Western therapy or Western medication, they're going to seek out a Surahana or a Surahanu, right? And it's important to understand a little bit of both practices, right? So my Western education, right, in academia, my Western as a social worker, right, has taught me that part, right? And now I'm